Good evening. Tonight I'd like to do a movie review, a movie that came out last year. I think it's out on DVD now. It's the remake of Conan the Barbarian. And if you're like me, you loved the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger, all that, the big buff barbarian, when all those sword and sorcery movies were really popular. You had the Barbarian Brothers, and the Sword and the Sorcerer, and Krull, and all these other type of movies, the high adventure. Although it's lowbrow. But anyhow, the remake, and I'm not going to go into the bios of the actors, the director, the producer, all that stuff. I'm not interested in that, really. There's no actors that I really care about in this movie, aside from one. Now, the guy that they picked to play Conan is this short little Hawaiian guy. I don't know his name. He was in the movie 10,000 BC, which is a complete just box office flop. It was where the woolly mammoths built the pyramids, something like that. Now, when you look at this guy, he's totally ripped, he's in good shape, he's a good-looking guy. But I think he's kind of short, and they're trying to hide that in the movie. And I think, with computer graphics the way they are, like Lord of the Rings, you can make somebody that's really tall appear small, or vice versa. So it's not really an issue in the movie. But there's just something about him that seems like he's kind of a runt that is kind of just trying to bulk up. And this is more apparent to me when he squares off against various, plug ugly minions throughout the movie. Thulsa Doom, who is a really memorable villain from the original. In this one, I don't remember the guy's name, but he's just kind of a generic warrior sorcerer guy. And, Conan is usually facing off with a villain, a hot chick in his arm here, saving a hot chick, or fighting a sorceress that's a hot chick. There's usually a monster involved. These are all the Robert E. Howard books that I'm remembering, or like the Frank Frazetta covers. It's all classic stuff. And, it's not really a formula that you can mess around with or mess up. But I feel with remakes, I feel the same way with when you cover a song. Do it for a reason. Don't mess with the artistic foundation so much that it's totally unrecognizable. But at the same time, bring something to it that makes it worth watching. Otherwise, I'm just going to watch the original and not even watch the new one. Why? And I'll feel like I wasted my time if I do. Now, the plot line is just completely convoluted and stupid. I'm sure it's taken right from the books. And, it's just the classic, I'm going to hunt you down, you killed my family, blah, blah, blah. The special effects are all right. Some of the battle sequences are completely outlandish, especially the last, or the next to last one, where they're fighting above a bottomless pit with a big, kind of like a torture wheel wedged between some rocks. And Rachel Nichols, the only actress that I care, or actor that I care about in this movie, is strapped to it, and you'd think that's hot. I like Rachel Nichols a lot. I think she's a gorgeous girl. P2 is probably an excellent movie if you're a fan of Rachel Nichols, because not only is she running around, but she's scantily clad and she's like soaking wet for half the movie, so you can't miss there. So I was like, okay, I really want to watch this for Rachel Nichols. And that reminds me. Rose McGowan is in this movie, but they've completely remade her into this hideous high forehead creature. And Rose McGowan, she can't act to save her life. She's just horrible. I was cringing everything. And she's wearing these Halloween claws. Totally stupid. The villain, totally forgettable. He's just a buff guy with a detachable sword, completely uninspired. And Rachel Nichols, who is the only source of interest in that movie, and I thought, okay, there's like a sex scene in this movie. I don't know if she's done nude scenes. She may have, maybe Maxim magazine or Sex in the City. I can't remember. But I thought, okay, well, at least that's in it. At least there's that saving grace, right? Well, I watched it and I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. And they showed this girl, or the body, you don't see her face. It was a stand-in, obviously, because her boobs are fake, and Rachel Nichols' boobs aren't fake. So I felt gypped right there, and that just left a really bad taste in my mouth. Because that was primarily the only reason I'd watch that movie. So I would give this movie, just to cut to the chase, I'd probably give it out of a 5. I'd probably give it a 1.5. The writing is horrible. Conan says stuff like, maybe something will happen and he'll go, oh, you scream like a girl, or oh shit. It's just he's talking like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It just spits in the face of anybody who's into Barbarians or sword and sorcery movies. Avoid this like the plague. It's terrible. It's horrible. Just a disappointment from beginning to end. And there's not much more to say about it. It's like a dagger into my heart. Thanks for watching.